guys, it's me time for another real quick 3-minute office meeting, and today I want to talk about one thing and one thing only, and that's getting you guys paid, how it works, some things that we're changing, and some new processes that we want to implement. Now, first of all, if you're having any problem getting your check on time when it comes out, chances are it's because of something that you are doing. Now, a lot of you guys are using outside transaction coordinators. Some of you guys are doing it yourselves. Some of the people in the brokerage, I don't even think understand how to use back agents. So I want to kind of address that stuff. First of all, let's talk about our process. If your check comes in and it goes to Summerlin, okay, we don't know, or the people that process your checks don't know that your check is there until the funding request is submitted. The reason they don't even look at it is because we don't know how to cut the check, and they don't want to process it until we know. What if there's a split? What if you're splitting it with somebody else? What if there's a referral fee? We just want to make sure that we look at it and address it one time. So until you hit submit on your funding request in back agent, we don't have any idea, or the girls don't have any idea what to do with that money. So if you haven't hit submit yet, nothing is happening with your money. It's sitting there. So make sure you hit submit. Now, what do you have to do prior to hitting submit? All of your documents have to be approved within back agent. Now understand something. This isn't like just a nitpicky thing that we want to do. It's the law, guys. When you got your license, you said, I will abide by the law of real estate. We as brokers, when we got a brokerage, said we will abide by the law as far as what we say we need to have. So we go through those documents and make sure that everything is signed correctly. Now, this is creating a problem at the end of some of files because some of you guys are waiting till the very end of a transaction to upload the first document. You can't do that. We're supposed to have your listing contracts, your duties owed, on file within 48 hours of you even taking those listings. So you've got to, as soon as you start a listing or get a contract for a buyer, you've got to open those documents right away. Now, the quicker you upload them, we don't wait till the file closes to check your documents. They check what's loaded every single day. So if you load a listing contract and something is missing, we will tell you something's missing on it the first day and you can get it corrected. So by the time your file closes, all of your documents are in and corrected. And what's worse is if you wait till the end, you have no idea if you're missing a signature, missing something, because occasionally you will be, but the easiest place to get that done is at the closing table with your client. If you're missing something, you can take it over and get it done. Now, we do know there's some things that agents at other companies just kind of refuse to sign. Should that happen, just request that you've submitted 3 times for them to sign it. They won't get it done, or their client won't sign it, and we'll give you a variance for that situation. It's not a problem to do, but we just need to make sure that we're getting it done. Now, also remember something. If you're using an outside transaction coordinator, they are the one that is ultimately responsible for doing all the stuff and getting your check. If they submit something on your behalf and it gets kicked out by our auditors that are checking to make sure it's right, your transaction coordinator won't know that because the email that they're getting to say that something got rejected is coming to you. So it's your responsibility to then turn around and make sure that you email that back to your transaction coordinator to get it done. Again, if you're handing off all of this work to a TC or to an assistant, it's their responsibility on your behalf to make sure your file's right so we can get you paid, because we can't get you paid without it. Now, we are hiring another accountant right now. We interviewed a couple people the last couple of days to actually make this process go smoother. But the number one thing that drives the whole system into the ground is when somebody shows up at Summerlin with a check in their hand that they just walked from title and walks in and says, I need my check in the next 15 minutes. We never said, we told you guys in orientation, that's not something we can do, but we do try to accommodate you. Now, we're trying to eliminate that situation completely, but you've got to understand, if you're going to do that from now on, we're going to have an expedite process, and here's how it's going to work. Number one, you have to make sure your file is complete. If your file is complete, there's nothing that can be done. You have to have your transaction submitted. If you will be able to print out and write expedite on your funding request. If you write expedite, we're going to charge you a $100 fee to expedite your check, but you can have it that day if you need it. You are also responsible for getting your closing package to Summerlin, not to Green Valley, but to Summerlin. So when you get it over there, write expedite, put another $100 into Simply Vegas, we'll turn your check in the next hour and a half at the max. But you've got to make sure you follow that process. The goal here is not for us to make another $100. The goal here is to incentivize you to plan better so you don't have to do that, because it really does, everything else stops when that happens, and it does really screw it up. So we're getting into an accountant that's going to help out a lot. We want to turn these checks. We want to get you paid as quickly as possible, but you guys have got to help us out by making sure those documents are put in when they're supposed to be put in and put in right, and funding requests are submitted. So that's all I got for this week. I know it's a longer than 3 minutes, but this is important. So I hope you have a great week and go sell some real estate.